All right, we are turning to page 66 in your science textbook, page 66. We haven't done textbook work in a while now that we're beginning like what we would consider our second quarter's worth of work, and we're on page 66. Okay, you need your science notebook out and begin to label your sheet. Yep. Right up there, grab that one. You should label the. Yep.
I use a pencil.
Yep.
Had to.
Okay. We are on page 66. The title of this is What is Meiosis? So you need to have your science notebook open right now. Science notebook.
This is meiosis.
I'll get you a sheet of paper.
Sigh. Deep sigh. Meiosis.
Got a pencil?
I just read question 2 and I am already not ready for this.
You just read it?
Okay, so you should write page 66 and 67. Up in the top right corner, questions 1 through 9. We're on page 66. What is meiosis? Not mitosis, and this is how that is pronounced. Meiosis. 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 Our objective for today, hopefully it becomes less blurry. Define gamete and describe the type of cell division called meiosis. So meiosis is a type of cell division, but it's going to be slightly different than mitosis. Do you have a question?
Yeah, is this about like making babies and stuff?
Somewhat, but not really. Okay, so here we go. Key terms. Key terms. We have sperm cell. A sperm cell is a male reproductive cell.
I'm following.
Pencil.
Okay. Sperm cell is a male reproductive cell. Egg cell is the female reproductive cell. A gamete is a reproductive cell. So a sperm cell could be considered the male gamete. The egg cell could be considered the female gamete. Okay. Gamete is a fancy word for reproductive cell. Okay? And we have meiosis as our final key term. That's a type of cell division that produces gametes. So meiosis literally produces gametes, or sperm cells and egg cells. Okay, and here we go. First paragraph is titled Gametes. Every body cell of an animal contains the same number of chromosomes. Sperm cells and egg cells are reproductive cells. Reproductive cells are also called gametes. Gametes develop from special cells in the body. During the formation of gametes, the number of chromosomes changes. It is cut in half. Each gamete contains only half as many chromosomes as a body cell. The process by which gametes form is called meiosis. The cells formed by meiosis have half the number of chromosomes as body cells. Okay, so gametes have half the number of body cells, or sorry, half the number of chromosomes as body cells. So you look at human, go down to look at this table. Fruit fly, they only have 8 chromosomes in their body cells, so that means their gametes have 4. Bullfrog has 26 body cells. Gametes have 13. Then we have human cells. Your body cells we've talked about have 46. Therefore, human gametes have 23. Remember that? I believe it's like a genetics company, 23andMe. Anyone ever heard of that?
Yeah.
23andMe?
I've heard
No?
No.
Some people- You can test your DNA and find out, your ancestry,
Oh, cool.
things like that.
Oh, wait,
But
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know
where the
that.
23 comes from, 23 chromosomes. Okay. A
Okay.
lot of talking. Go ahead.
What if there was like 73 bodies cell chromosomes?
Then what's half of 73?
Half of 73, but that would leave you with a half. I
Exactly.
don't believe that they're odd numbered.
Wait, so
Interesting. I need to know this.
Yes,
I'm
Mr.
Mr.
A. You don't have to do like
Yes.
What about single-celled organisms? They only have one cell, so that means that they would only have like around one chromosome. Let's just pretend an animal will have one chromosome. So that means that
babies.
the gametes would only be
Single-celled organisms
no babies.
may have more than one chromosome.
I know, but let's just pretend that they only have one chromosome. Would that mean that the gametes
Can't
would be
present.
Yeah, you
Can't
physically
pretend.
cannot have chromosomes.
Yeah, in theory, it'd be a half. Okay, here we go. Meiosis is the next part. The process meiosis occurs in 2 parts, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. The phases of each part are similar to those in mitosis. The difference is that meiosis includes 2 cell divisions instead of 1. Look at the stages shown in figure 3-6. So that's the majority of this textbook assignment, is the stages shown. Okay, and we will go into greater detail in this when we take our meiosis notes. But here we begin with meiosis. You start with a regular cell. Now, it's not necessarily a regular cell. It's a gametocyte, or in a male it'll be a spermatocyte, or a female it'll be an oocyte. Okay, because males produce sperm, and females produce eggs or ovo. Okay, or ova. In the first one, they have the regular number of cells that the body cells have. Okay, a spermatocyte will have 46. Okay, then it's going to move down to metaphase part 1. So we have prophase, we're going to have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Okay, all part 1. Then you go to part 2. You have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, part 2. So it's PMAT, PMAT. Okay, with interphase in between those. Remember, we talked about interphase being that phase in between mitotic divisions. Okay, yes? Seeing a lot of blank stares.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interphase. Interphase from IPMAT. Okay. But PMAT is PMAT times 2 is how you get the acronym for meiosis.
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said, we started with prophase, and it looks just like a normal cell that began prophase. The chromosomes were condensing. Chromosomes thicken, and the nuclear membrane is disappearing. See that? You just took a test on this stuff. Now, in metaphase, remember in metaphase, what did we say the M stands for in metaphase? Or what was it? What's that? Not multiply.
Middle, yeah.
Middle. Everything started to line up in the middle. However, when we did mitosis, we lined them all up the middle. It was all one line, right? One line of chromosomes. What do you notice about these chromosomes here? Brock.
So the red one is bigger than the yellow one, so which must mean that the yellow one kind of fits inside of the red one, or that they tend to get all loose and sprayed around in the middle.
Not really what I was going for, but yeah, sure, they look a little different in size. What do you notice instead of having them in one straight line? What do you notice there? Turn to your partner and talk. Turn to the people next to you and talk. What do you notice about the way these chromosomes are lined up? In metaphase phase 1, metaphase 1. Take a break from writing. What do you notice about the way these are lined up in metaphase 1? Normally in metaphase it was just one line.
Chromosomes are lining up in pairs.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You can just read it. There's a caption.
What?
Yeah. To the left.
Oh.
9, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go. What do you notice about that? Avery used his big brain. Let's hear it. What do you got?
The chromosomes are lined up in pairs.
Chromosomes are lined up in pairs instead of one straight line. Appreciate it. Awesome. Way to read that. Use your context clues. So up on the board, you see, I have, this is what happened in mitosis, right? They lined up just like that. Now that's a very simplistic drawing. This is what's happening right here. This is meiosis in metaphase 1. This is metaphase for mitosis over here. That's where they're different. Now, in anaphase, when they get pulled apart, take a look. Go down to anaphase 1. The chromosome pairs separate. So, one cell is taking one chromosome up from the pair, right? This will get pulled this way, and this will get pulled this way. Whereas over here, they split them right in half, didn't they? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in anaphase, you see one chromosome is being pulled one way, or two of the chromosomes are being pulled one way and two are pulled the other way. They're not split directly in half. Okay? Then we go to telophase part 1. The cells pinch apart. That's called cytokinesis right there, right? Then we go to meiosis 2. We're left with 2 cells now. These are 2 cells. They have half the number of chromosomes. Can you believe that? Already. Let's take a look. Don't believe me? Here we go. Look at this chromosome. Look at these cells here. Meiosis 2. Right? I have how many chromosomes in this cell? 2. How many in this cell? 2. How many did the cell start with?
4.
Everybody turn and talk to the people around you. What do you think? Okay. 3, 2, 1, 0. Zach, how many did they start with in the first one? 1. I don't see 1, man. Count those chromosomes up there.
Wait a damn minute.
What's that? 4. Thank you. So we went from 4 to now each cell has 2, right? Okay, each cell has 2. Is that half? Is 2 half of 4? Okay, now in a human, we would go from 46 to 23. Why don't they draw 23 on here? Too much. Yep, it would be very complicated to follow. So then in metaphase, now what do you notice about metaphase? They line up in a single file line. So meiosis part 2 is basically mitosis. Okay?
Just this time it's split to the 4.
Nope, it looks exactly like mitosis because they line up in a single file line. And then they split at the centromere and pull the sister chromatids apart. Now, the 2 cells form into 4 cells, and you're left with 4 daughter cells. 4 daughter cells that have half the number of chromosomes. I see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we have 4 cells with only 2. In the beginning, we had 1 cell with 4.
Right.
Okay, we'll get more into it. I know it gets a little confusing. All right, moving on. Meiosis 1 is similar to mitosis, except that the chromosome copies do not split. That's what we talked about. Instead, the paired chromosomes separate. So they take the pair, and one part of the pair goes this way, one part of the pair goes that way. The result is still 2 daughter cells. However, each daughter cell contains a set of chromosomes that is different from the other. The stages of meiosis 2 are the same as meiosis 1, but the end result is different. The daughter cells formed from meiosis 2 contain only half the number of chromosomes compared to the number of chromosomes in normal body cells. These new cells become gametes. The body cell of a fruit fly contains 8 chromosomes. After meiosis, there are only 4 chromosomes in each gamete. Your body cells contain 46 chromosomes. After meiosis, there are only 23 chromosomes in each gamete that forms. Okay? Now, let's explain. Why do gametes contain half the number of chromosomes as body cells? Turn and talk with the people around you. What do you think? Why do your gametes contain half the number of chromosomes that your body cells?
Because when you make a person, there's 2 strands of DNA. So
Oh.
Seeing some good conversation. Some people are still asleep from the Halloween weekend. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. I'm over it.
Yeah, and then you gotta take away from
Why?
cell to make another body.
Why do gametes contain half the number of chromosomes as body cells? Yeah, Avery.
Because each human body has 46, so then a mother and a father each have 23 in it per gamete. So, and then you pair them together and it makes one other human.
Bingo. There you go. That'll do it. So the body cells split and they get half of them. Okay. So that way, when a new human is formed, and not just human, a new animal is formed.
Oh, so we're animals now.
We are.
We are animals.
So when the gametes join, right, 23 plus 23 will be 46. They'll join up, make 46 chromosomes, and you have a new person/organism.
My dad.
Okay, alrighty. Let's go to checking concepts. All human body cells contain how many chromosomes? Body cells contain how many chromosomes? Ryan? If you look on page 66, there's a table that talks about the number of chromosomes. 46. So, number 1, all human body cells contain 46 chromosomes. That's number 1. All human body cells contain 46 chromosomes. Number 2, sperm cells and egg cells are blank. Olivia.
Reproductive cells?
Yep, you could say either reproductive cells or gametes. I'll take that. So sperm cells and egg cells are reproductive cells. Sperm cells and egg cells are reproductive cells or gametes. Yes.
What is it? The answer for number 1?
Number 1.
Was it 23?
Nope, all human body cells contain 46 chromosomes. That was number 1. Number 3. The process that reduces the number of chromosomes in a cell by 1/2 is what? Brock.
Meiosis.
Meiosis. Yep, that'd be MEIOSIS. The process that reduces the number of chromosomes in a cell by 1/2 is
Meiosis.
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 Number 4. Meiosis occurs only in the formation of what?
Something.
What is that something, Corbin?
I have no clue.
Okay, well, let me see if you can research and find. We just did a whole lesson on it. What does meiosis form? What's that?
Cells.
Cells. What kind of cells?
The cell kind.
I'm gonna ask you to have to look through your book and see if you can find it. What does the meiosis form? Because you were doing this with us, right? No,
In and out.
you were in and out. Okay, maybe someone can help them out. What does meiosis form?
Okay,
Brock, you think? Or sorry, not Brock.
Okay.
Corbin, you think you can call on somebody to help you out?
someone has been called on.
Nobody was.
Sure, go ahead, Wes.
What is the question for?
Yep. Meiosis occurs only in the formation of what? Body cells or what?
Information on
Okay. Everybody turn and talk to the person around them. Meiosis only occurs in the formation of something. It is not body cells, right? Not body cells. Not body cells.
Damn gammy.
Meiosis forms only what?
Is it babies?
No, not babies. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. We need to wake up today.
Do we do like 5 groups?
No.
No, bro.
What does meiosis form? Meiosis occurs only in the formation of what, Bella? Gametes. Meiosis only forms gametes or reproductive cells. Write that down, my friend. You did? Oh, why didn't you say that out loud to us then?
Because I just figured it out. I don't.
Oh,
My
okay.
brain is shut down today.
Okay.
I told you I am on
Just
a sugar
today.
crash right now. I am just barely
Okay.
staying awake.
All right. All right.
Like 50 pieces of
How many,
chocolate.
so number 5, how many chromosomes does a human egg cell contain? So females contain egg cells. How many chromosomes does a human egg cell contain? That would be a gamete. Danny, what is it?
23,
23. Why?
21.
Because, during my split.
Yeah, I would say a human egg cell contains 23 because it's a gamete. Gamete. Very good.
Mr. D, you're going too fast.
I'll give you some. Answer.
What would it happen if the?
What would happen, number 6, if the chromosomes did not move to opposite sides of the nucleus before the cell pinched apart? What do you think, Brock, number 6?
This is just a theory, but I just put one of those cells or the brand new daughters would be dead. It would be like a miscarriage. It would be dead.
What would happen if,
Because the DNA would be squished in between them, and so the DNA would just kind of like like how we say cytoplasm kind of is. So it's like kind of like this thin strawberry layer. It would just squish out. The DNA would just squish out into this jam like DNA flavor jam.
Wait, what?
I don't know, man.
You
Avery,
lost
go
that.
ahead.
Twin.
No, not necessarily.
Wait, I don't even know what you said.
If they didn't move to opposite sides of the nucleus, the chromosomes didn't move before they pinched apart, they'd be right in the middle, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the DNA would be squished.
Yeah,
Okay.
you might be left with not the same number of chromosomes in one nucleus as the other, right? You might be left with different numbers of chromosomes. You might have chromosomes that get split, stuff like that. You could put that in there. I kind of got what you're saying, Brock. You just took
6. Squish.
5 minutes to say like one thing. All right, next.
6 equals
Number
7.
7.
Squeeze.
Again, seems kind of redundant. Why is it important for gametes to have half as many chromosomes as normal body cells? Avery kind of touched on this. Because when people or organisms reproduce, you have the male gamete joining the female gamete. Those will have half plus half equals a whole, right? It's- Number 8, how are mitosis and meiosis similar?
Wait, whoa.
I know,
Yeah,
you guys.
it's way too
I
fast.
know. I'm going to let you do it at the end.
How do you put number 7 into a sentence?
Well,
You
you're
don't.
gonna
A
have-
half plus a half equals a whole.
Well, yeah, maybe.
How are mitosis, meiosis similar? I would say both involve cell division. And then number 9, how many chromosomes do the gametes of an organism with 14 chromosomes in its body cells have? What's half of 14?
7.
7. There you go. All right, you have the remainder of the time to work on this yourself.
I thought we were gonna do another one.
We have no time.